Good morning, my dear students. We already started the class about function. So in the previous class, we referred what is actual parameters or actual arguments and formal arguments. You all know actual arguments are the arguments used in the function call, and formal arguments or formal parameters are the arguments which are used in function definition. Today in this class we are going to discuss function arguments. That means we can classify our arguments. Arguments means actual arguments or formal arguments into three types. So in this class we are going to discuss about function arguments. There are three types of function arguments are there. So it is known as types of formal arguments also. Formal arguments means formal, which is used in function definition. That is, this is formal arguments. This is formal arguments. So it is used in function definition. And if we are calling a function like this is actual arguments. So these formal arguments are classified into three types. They are required arguments, which is known as positional parameter, keyword arguments, and third is default arguments and variable length arguments. So in this we have to study required arguments and default arguments. So what is required arguments? Required arguments means, or it is known as positional parameter also. That is, required arguments means if we are using three arguments in function call, then our function definition must contain three arguments. If we are using two parameters in function call, then our function definition must contain two parameters. If nothing is used as argument, then the function definition will not contain any arguments. So required arguments means arguments passed in correct positional order. That means if we are using two arguments, then two arguments have to be specified in function definition. So let's look this example. In required arguments, here this is the function call. From here flow of execution starts from here, and when we call the function, the corresponding function definition will work. Here square of x, inside this one argument is there, but here in function call no arguments is not used, no arguments here, so it will produce an error. So we have to pass an argument for x. That means a value for either it is 10 or it is a. We can pass a value here. So in this case there will be an error because our function call did not contain any value. So the number of arguments in both, this is actual arguments and this is formal, actual and formal will be the same. So here nothing is used, so we can write as def square of inside bracket no values there, it is correct. But here we are using one value inside function definition, so it will be wrong. So required arguments means the arguments must be passed in a program if we are using it in the function definition. That means if our function definition contains value or parameters, then our function call must contains arguments. Then next is keyword arguments. It is not important, but we can understand keyword arguments. That means we are using identifier inside this bracket. This x is an identifier. In keyword arguments, by using this identifier name itself, we can identify what this argument is means. That means what this variable means. The caller identifies the arguments by the parameter name. For example, function age equal to 15, name equal to Mohak. So in this example we can understand that age and name, that means it will be an age or it will be a name, like that we can identify. So in this also there will be some, here age equal to 15 and name equal to Mohak. But what happened, Here first name is used and then age is used, so we cannot identify. So in keyword arguments, caller identifies the arguments by parameter name. Then what is default arguments? Next is default arguments means if we are not using any arguments, so default some value is provided. That means in this case r equal to sum. In this function call, there are no arguments are used. Then what happened in function definition, we are giving some values to the arguments. So this is known as default arguments. That means in function definition itself, we are supplying value. When we are not using any arguments, then value is supplied directly in function definition. Then what is variable length arguments? It will uses a pointer. We can study in detail. So you have to study positional parameters and default arguments. Default arguments means in function definition itself, we can give the arguments or value. So no need to supply the value here. Here we can supply the value. So these all are in function definition. Function arguments are in function definition. Required arguments or positional parameter means based on the number of arguments in the function call, we have to provide arguments in the function definition also. Keyword arguments means it by using that argument name, that using that identifier name, we can identify the arguments and its purpose. Default arguments means if we are not supplying any arguments, then we can give directly in the function definition itself like this. Then variable length arguments means we can use pointer star, where tuple means it is a pointer. So these are the 4 types of arguments used in Python program. Then this topic we already covered, arguments passing and return value. That means we can give value back by using return statement, which we have already studied in the previous class. The next topic is variable scope in function. Scope of a variable. Scope means where the existence of variable inside function or outside function, we can specify that. That means we can use that variable. If we are using a variable inside the function, then function definition, then that function definition alone can use that variable. So there are 3 types of scope are there. They are local variable. That means the name itself accessible only inside the functional block where it is declared. That is local variable. Global variable means in entire program we can access that variable. Then non-local variable means nesting of function. That means we can use a function inside another function. Then we can use non-local variable. So local, let us look example. Local variable program. S equal to I love India, print S. Then what happened? This S is declared inside this function. So we can get, if we are printing here, what happens? I love India will be the output. So where program execution will start from here. S equal to I love world. S is assigned with a value of I love world, and we called a function. This is function call. A function is called. Inside function we are declaring that S equal to I love India. Then if we print the statement, that if we print S here, what will be the output? I love India will be the output. It will be printed first. Then it will return back to here, and here also print S will be there. That means this S is declared here. So I love world will be the output. In this S is local variable, this S is global variable. So this S is accessed inside the function only because we are declaring S inside this function. But in this case, this S is declared here. So here we print S, then what will be the output? I love world will be the output. Next is global variable program. Global variable means we can make a variable global by using the keyword global. The same example, S equal to I love world, then function is called. Here we declared as global S. Global S means the value of S is global. That means accessing or making global variable for function. Then print s, what happened? I love India is printed and I love world also printed. What happened? Here the global variables value is changed, and first, so we are making this s as global. So if we print s here, what happened? This value, this I love world is printed first. Then we are giving a local variable as I love India. Then what happened? I love India is printed. Then again it will come back to the function, after function, then print s, then I love India will be the output. That means by using global keyword we can make a variable global. Here I love world is the value for s, and inside function we are declaring s as global. Then what happened? This s becomes global. Then if we printed from here, the output will be I love world. Then s equal to I love India means this global variable is converted to local variable. Then I love India is printed. Again the control will return back to here and print s. What will be the output? I love world will, I love India will be the output. That means the value is changed. We created s as global. So here we are changing the value of s. Then what happens? The s is changed to I love India. So we can make a variable to global by using the keyword global. Then what happens? Here print s will print I love world. Then after that we are changing the value of s. That means s is changed to I love India. So it will affect in the entire program. Then if we are printing here also I love India is printed. So here are some example. So these are the scope, local variable and global variable. Then non-local variable means like s, we can access any variable. So we can check some examples. So here what will be the output? Here the program starts from here, b equal to 20. Here global a, inside function definition global a equal to 10. Next here the function start a comma b comma x comma y equal to 1 2 3 4. Value of a becomes 1, b2, x3, y4. Function 50 comma 100, what happened? This 50 and 100 will reach to x and y. Then global a, that means a becomes global. Then a equal to 10, what happened? The value of a is changed. So if you are using a equal to 10, the value of a is changed. So just understand this: in global variable, the value is changed in the entire program. But in local variable, the value will be inside the function only. When we are declaring a variable inside the function, then inside the function only the variable have the value. So this is known as global and local variable. So let's wind up this session for now. So in this class we have studied 3 topics. What are the topics? These 3 topics in your syllabus. Remaining topics are not covered in your syllabus. That means first topic is function arguments. That means we can specify, we can refer the function definition arguments in 3 types, 4 types: required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments and variable length arguments. In this you have to study required arguments and default arguments. Required arguments means if our function call contains particular number of arguments, then function definition must contain the particular number of arguments. Default arguments means if you are not supplying any value to function definition, then we can give value directly in function definition, which is known as default arguments. Then we talked about return type. Return type means we can use a function by using return statement, or without using return statement. If we are returning a value inside function, we are using return the corresponding value, return 1, return 2 and so on, like this return set. If you don't want to return, we can print this set here itself. If we are returning a value, then function call, in function call a variable is assigned to receive that value. Then we studied about global and local scope. Local scope means a variable have existence inside the particular block only, and in global scope the variable have existence in all the program. If you are changing the value in one sentence, then it will affect in all the program. So let's stop the class for now. Our chapter 3 is completed. Thank you and have a nice day.